Beth Livensperger's painting of a ceiling is an observational painting where she spent a lot of time studying the ceiling and its many changes and certain patches of deterioration, and it's a meditation on overlooked spaces and the places that we don't really look at, but they exist above us. And I think that that is also an analogy for the clock. It's over us, but it's not really there. We don't really think about it all the time. I make small watercolors and observational watercolors, and they're usually from a very far distance, so I could push my eyesight to the furthest degree, which forces me to be reductive in the paintings. At the same time, I became interested in what a photograph could do to show how far my paintings are from reality. And in doing that, I thought that it was interesting to have the moment compressed into a photograph while also having the moment extended through the observational painting. And I configured them as a clock in 12 positions, each watercolor opposing its photograph. This piece by Georgia Elrod is her personal tarot card reading, and it is a reading that is random, so her interpretations of the cards is her personal interpretation of the hand that she drew, and the hand that we draw is, in a way, our clock personally, and so this is her evaluation of time. These two separate pieces by Charles Shedden depict two separate ways of looking at time, one being about playing games with the Rubik's Cube and trying to get everything to come together, and also at the same time frustration therein, as well as the fractured glass apothecary vase, which he bought and then shattered and then reconstructed with crazy glue. There is a lot of themes of delicacy in the show, and I suppose maybe the clock is something that people see as almost not being there, almost being more of an ephemeral presence in their life. I think the two work together to illustrate two separate ways that we're constantly putting things back together that are fractured and disorganized, and creating organization. This piece by Jason Wurm is both photo and sound piece. It's a place to come and listen to live field recordings that he created and edited, and also live music playing, and he synthesizes these sound pieces together. It's influenced by the father of music concrete, Pierre Schaeffer, and the idea is, the term is jeu, or play, when creating music, and that belief has influenced this piece.
Yellow screams up his down his boobs, red, been trying to kill me since June. Boobs, red, yellow, put a gun to my head. Up his down his and cut me with a knife. Yellow screams, beat up my friends.
One of the things that it is to check a clock, or to understand what time it is to communicate. To introduce yourself to Steve is to, in a way, find where you are within his space, which is a space that's been altered by glaucoma for the last 20 years. The piece is meant to stimulate the audience to have an interaction with Steve, which is kind of my way of saying, and I think also Steve would agree, that people are paramount to art, and really you can learn a lot from art, but you can learn even more from people. So to introduce yourself to Steve.